and welcome. My name is MiniBetrayal and this is Factorio Megabase. It's been a little bit of time since the last episode if you're following along with these in real time, so apologies for that. But today we are getting on with space science. Last one in the game. So, I had written a whole bunch of notes. It worked out as 4 pages of handwritten notes. I started recording this and realized that they were mistakes. So I went back, I rewrote all my notes, and then there were mistakes again. So I am aware that there are online tools for this sort of thing, but I don't want to do that. So instead, I made my own my own tool. I have a spreadsheet which has all of the stuff we need. So, in short, for 1000 space science per second, I need 283 iron ore per second, 410 copper ore per second, 50 coal per second, 1223 crude oil per second, and I've got this bit in 2 sections, but it's about 1620 water per second. So today we're going to start off with the oil setup. Now, if you're in my Discord, you'll have seen a bunch of discussion about this going backwards and forwards, but I think we can get away with surprisingly little in the way of oil processing by using the beacons. Now, the numbers don't work out perfectly, unfortunately, but we can get pretty close. Anyway, so I am here. Where there's a whole bunch of materials around here we're going to use. So let's go down and have a look. In fact, firstly, let's actually go and pick up some oil-related stuff from the train. Let's drop off. Actually, no, I do want those. I'll be right back. Okay, so here is our oil deposit. Now, as I said, we need a little over 1200 crude oil per second, which is a little much. Let's see how much we can actually get out of this. So, let me pop these down, add them up, and we'll see what we've got to work with. Do I need to go and get more oil from somewhere? Okay, so this deposit, looking at the right there, this will give us 1900 per second. Okay, so first step, done. Now I need to get all of this into the same place. So that is where we bring up... That's not my pipes bar. That's not my pipes bar. This is my pipes bar. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this vaguely northwards, I think. Okay, all hooked in. I've put in some pumps as well, because with pipes this long, you'd need to be careful of throughput. Also, I think... A good thing I checked that. They are not actually all hooked up to each other power wires. So let's pop that in there. Okay, that should hook them all together. Okay. Right, so according to my numbers, we need... where are they? We need 1145.7 petrol per second. We also need 790.9 light oil per second. We need 0 heavy oil. So, what I've come up with for that is 8 refineries working on advanced oil processing, but these need to be fully beaconed. Thusly, all with speed beacons and productivity. Speed modules, there we go. Okay, so 8 of these. We also need 3 machines to crack all of the heavy oil that those 8 machines will make into light oil. And then to give us a little bit of extra petrol at the end, we also need another 3 machines working on light oil cracking. So, let's see, where are my substations? Here. So I'm going to need to figure out... Does that actually cover... Okay, that does actually get all of them. So I'm going to need to figure out a way of piping all of these together. So let me start off with the 8 of these. Okay, so we have there now our 8 refineries. I just need to feed in the actual petrol, which comes in on this line here. Like that. And to help with throughput, I'm also going to feed in the same petrol a little bit further along this way. Here will do. Okay, let's get some more pumps in here. All helps with the throughput. So I'll stick a pump in there. I will stick a pump in there, and I would like one in there as well, actually. What if I take it out that way instead? That might work a little better. Yeah. Okay, the water. I'll give all of these their own water input. So actually, I don't need that. I don't need that pipe there. So, sorry, when I say I'll give them all their own water input, what I mean to say is I'll run out of pipes. What I mean to say is I will give all of the refineries one water input that they won't share with anything else. Right, where's my pipes at? Here. And do I have offshore pumps? No. I'll take them as well. Okay. So, as I said, we need 3 machines cracking the heavy oil. And similarly, these need to be fully beaconed. So, let's just pop this down. This will be working on heavy oil cracking. It needs to be as beaconed as possible. Which looks like this. With productivity and speed. Oh, missing one of them. And a bit of power. Like that. Then we need a similar kind of input and output scheme. So let's do that. Okay. So I've got that. Let's see, like, can I squeeze that in to maybe share some of the beacons? I think I can. Like, if I put that there, it still has the same number of beacons attached to it. It's just effectively these two are bumped up by one. That one doesn't reach it, so it doesn't matter. So that works. Now, I do need to be careful of that, because that is outputting light oil. So, in fact, if anything, that wants to go one further to there. Like that. The heavy oil I need to bring in from this line. Like that. And we'll go and get another water line in a second. Okay. But I can paste. Move that up to where it needs to be. Okay, and one more of them. Like that. But then we also need 3 cracking the light oil. So let's put down another 3. This will work very similarly, except of course this will be configured for light oil cracking. These ones here will be on petrol, which is that line. And down here, instead of the heavy oil, we need to go and get the light oil, which comes from there. Okay, so these need water. I'll hook the petroleum outputs to each other as well. There we go. I don't need that. I don't need these. Okay, so this setup will give us, remember we need, where was it? 1,145.7 petrol. This will give us 1,176.4. So it gives us about 30-ish per second more than we need of petrol. We need 790.9 light oil per second. This gives us 841.9, so about 51 more than we need. And this gives, so we need 0 heavy oil. Now, we're not completely cracking all the heavy oil here, but this will give us 25.6 heavy oil per second. So this is almost perfect. Like, considering the scales we're working at, it's pretty damn good, really. I mean, really what we want is 7.6 machines on advanced processing, 3.04 heavy oil crackers, and 3.18 light oil crackers. Unfortunately, this isn't satisfactory. You can't underclock or overclock or anything like that. We just have to work with what we've got. So, what I'm going to do instead is put some tanks over here. So let's just go one there, one there, one there. We'll hook these up. They're in the wrong place. There. We'll hook these up to petrol, light oil, and heavy oil respectively. And then what we're going to do is add in a few things that make solid fuel. This is not the solid fuel we need. That's already taken care of in all of the numbers. This is just a way to stop the oil fractions backing up. So, if I just put that there, say you make heavy oil, you make solid fuel out of heavy oil. That will use well, at the moment it will use 20 heavy oil in 2 seconds, so 10 heavy oil per second, so we would actually need 3 of those just to keep up with the extra heavy oil we're making. For light oil, it's even worse. We'd need 6 machines on light oil and 4 machines on petrol. Of course, we can speed them up easily. Let's see. Give me a second on this. Alright, so I am reasonably certain that this will work. So what I've done here is I have turned all of the spare petroleum and all of the spare heavy oil into solid fuel, which then goes straight into these machines here to make rocket fuel. The light oil, or the spare light oil at least, comes in this way, gets pumped over here, so it will prioritize making the rocket fuel. Any spare light oil will go to make more of the solid fuel to make more rocket fuel. Why rocket fuel? Because it's just a dense way of getting rid of oil products, and then I've got somewhere to put it. So it's not very pretty, but it should last quite a while, I think. The only remaining thing to do is to make sure that I am indeed only taking the spare stuff. So, by doing that, getting a couple of pumps. Where are they? Should be around here somewhere. No, wrong type of pump. There we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. I'll be nice and give you some power. There you go. Right, so this top pump, I only want you to turn on when I have a surplus of heavy oil. So if I say heavy oil is greater than, I don't know, say 10k. Why not? This thing holds I think that holds 25. I'm second guessing myself now. It's 25,000, isn't it? Anyway, we'll do the same for this, but with light oil, and we'll do the same for this, except with petrol. So we'll set that to light oil. We'll set this to petrol. Okay, so of course we're not actually using any of our oil fractions at the moment, so instead of making, you know, a paltry 51 light oil per second, we're going to be making something stupid like 840 per second. But let's give it a quick test. Okay, that should have switched stuff on. Oh. There we go. Okay, so they fire up immediately. Nothing over here should switch on just yet. These should fire up. Okay, they are all working. That is good. Right, so light oil is actually going down. That's interesting. Oh, because light oil is... Ah, these are the wrong way round. This should be on light oil. This should be on petrol. No, I had it the right way round. This... No, I didn't have it the right way round. But these are also hooked up to the wrong tanks. There we go. Okay, so... Yeah, we have more than 20k petrol. Okay, so this should be making us rocket fuel. Yes, there we go. Alright, well, I am going to assume that that's working, which is probably a bad idea. I'm going to turn that off just by simply rotating that pump. In fact, let's rotate that pump and that pump. It's not going to turn off ever so quickly, mind you, but there you go. Still have loads of light oil there. Okay. But yes, that is our oil setup, which I think is probably one of the more complex ones we've done so far. Certainly, in fact, it's not actually the biggest in terms of the number of machines, but yeah, with all of those beacons, it's making us a lot of petrol. So yes, 1,145.7 and a bit petrol per second, and 790 light oil per second. Hopefully my spreadsheet is correct. So this might end up being a little bit of a shorter episode, but I am going to cut it there. Next episode we'll get started with the solid raw material, so the copper, iron, and the coal. We also need fantastic amounts of that. Hopefully it won't be such a long wait until that episode either, but yes, we're going to leave it there. So multiple parts for this space science. There is a lot to do. In the meantime though, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.